We're ready to reconvene.
I would like to make a motion that we reconvene out of executive session into regular session.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to reconvene in open meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. We're now back in the regular open session. So we have discussion, consideration, action, review, pending contract with Hammer, LLC, Hammer Isolation, and Laredo Hydrotech, and consider extension of feasibility period to seek present feasibility period.
Okay. I want to make a motion that we do not extend the feasibility study or contract of Hammer Exploration LLC, Hammer Isolation LLC, and Laredo Hydrotech LP. Allow them the opportunity, if they wish not to close, to refund their earnest money.
I have a motion and a second to not extend the feasibility period or contract on the Hammer Exploration LLC, Hammer Isolation LLC, Laredo Hydrotech, and instead offer, if they do not want to close, a refund of their earnest money. Any other further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
I'll try to get a letter out tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Berger, for coming. We're gonna move on to item C, discussion, consideration, action to approve building plan specs on sheet on the Whitmire office building at the Veterans Park, Lot 3. In our contract, we had on that we wanted them to present to us the plans and specs on that building. A couple of things, we wanted minimum 2,500 square feet. We wanted 30-year roof and our metal roof, and are at least 85% masonry siding. That they have not closed. The closing is scheduled for Wednesday. So you have in your package a copies of their plans, the specs, the site plans, layouts, and things of that nature. And I believe it complies with our requirements that we have, that we set forth in there. And last I know, they're ready to close on Wednesday. Mr. Berger has prepared the closing documents.
Did it indicate the percentage of stone and stucco or not? Oh.
And also in the deed that Mr. Berger prepared, it does have that in the deed too, 75%.
No.
And also, this triggers an obligation, if they close, this triggers an obligation for them to commence construction within 30 days.
Commencement within 30 days and completion within 7 months.
Very nice.
Is there no questions about two driveways? Maybe there's something going up once?
I don't know that they've got this approved for the permit department yet.
Oh, okay.
So we're approving this based on what we have, and they are finalizing some of the information with their architect to submit. Anyone have any questions regarding?
I think, let me just mention that, we have started,
Yeah, we're gonna be discussing that. And the next one is part of the, thing that we had to do is put the septic into into that lot. And in the next item, we're gonna be talking about the fee to extend the sewer, which part was already budgeted. And then we need the Murray Partner professional fee for the engineering services to put it in. So that's what we're gonna be looking at. In the next item is to put the sewer into this property and all the other 6 lots that's up there beside it.
Okay, on item C, I'd make a motion that we approve their building plan and spec sheets as presented by their architect.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the Whitmire office building plan for the Veterans Park Lot 3. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And item D is, what we're needing to do is if you can visualize that property again, we're gonna be extending 2 sewer lines up the sides of the property. Over here is the post office, coming from down here, which is crossing the veteran. They're gonna have to run their sewer line up here and up the property line for the lot 3 for the Whitmire. They're also simultaneously gonna be running the sewer line up this side. So henceforth, we'll have sewer in for all of these properties. So this, the $3,400 is a fee for Larry Heimer, the burying partner, to design the sewer for the proper depth, the flows and things like that. And the $6,000 estimate is what was budgeted previously in the budget to do this extension. So this is the bill for the engineering and for the actual work. The city is gonna have to rent excavator because they're thinking it may be as deep as 14 feet up there at the Whitmire property and close to Paloma Drive. So that should be close. It may run over just a little bit, we don't know, but that's the budget and that's the numbers.
I think the biggest cost is gonna be the excavator, because we're gonna have to rent it on a daily basis, they rent X number of dollars. So the city, I already talked to the city and city crew, whenever, they're ready, that they'll bring it, and if it takes 3 days or 4 days, whatever it's gonna take, the thing's gonna be working, and then they'll turn it back.
What about, locations of a sewer and water line? Is there any easement issues we need to be aware of?
There's a 15-foot building setback in that, and they're all gonna be within that 15
Look
foot.
at that survey, all those properties now. 15
The Veterans Park was divided.
I see. Okay, wow, that's amazing.
Howard helped on that one.
Okay, all right, good. So they'll be in the utility setback then?
The water is already in, so we're just quickly putting in the sewer.
And we're not going to be going on, the city's not gonna be going on the street. We're gonna be going inside
In
the
the
property.
setback, yes.
So it's not gonna damage the streets or anything. The only cut that they'll make is from the manhole where the sewer line is right now, to cut into the property.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a short distance.
And I think we want to do this regardless of whether Whitmire closes, and we're scheduled for closing on Wednesday. We don't see any problems, but even if it didn't, we still want to do this.
We're gonna do this.
Any other questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
We approve the wastewater extension through the burying partner professional services. Cost of $3,400. Veterans Park. I'll second that motion.
I have a motion to approve the Berry Partners professional service contract for the wastewater extension for $3,400, and remind you that the project was already budgeted for 2013. Here are the questions and discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Last item on the agenda, discussion and consideration action to approve select contractors on price quote for mowing, grading, trimming of FED properties. I believe that Brown has received some quotes.
Yep, there's still a couple of people that didn't turn in anything. I did get Mr. Whitten, is the only one who came in and turned in one. I've been looking to get E. Davidson to do that, and fill out one of these sheets, but
Let me ask you, committee members, if this would be appropriate, if you'd support it. Upon receipt of another bid or two, would y'all authorize maybe the interim executive director and I based on the bids received, to select one of those contractors to do the mowing out there. That property is inundated with weeds, and we really need to move on that. I would, not, it's not my desire that we wait another month to do that if we can, but I'd like to maybe see if there's another bid or two that would come in on that. If you know someone that'd be interested in that, we'd like to get a good competitive bid on this.
And I did contact Jeff Golshinger as well too, to see, he was supposed to stop by as well.
Yeah, they've been,
And it wasn't advertised, it's kind of word of mouth,
yeah.
so it's not something that we have a bid deadline on. We're just trying to get a good service, a good price, and things like that. Is that,
Subject to any bidding or any, published bidding requirements. So I assume for mowing, you're not going to
No.
go over the bid minimums.
No.
No.
any thoughts, any discussions, or?
Well, I would just, I would agree with you. I've had a couple of calls myself, even from a tenant that I know well, and you know, we gotta get somebody on this.
Yeah,
to get
I just
done.
drove out there, I'm
And,
like, God, that's bad.
you know, so,
Especially, the area in the green belt. And let's go back.
that,
You're looking at 30 acres.
well, and not only that is, my recommendation is at least take one or two
Yeah.
paths on these road edges, because you need to get that knocked back enough,
Yeah.
because some of those guys, if they're turning a corner at this intersection, there could be another truck coming, you can't see it because it's all grass, so that needs to be, at least two paths. A pretty decent spreader just to get it knocked back, and then, really moving forward, we need to address the issue of these people that have property that
Yeah,
aren't doing anything with it, that are not shredding it. If we have a tractor out there for a certain price, then we need to be contacting those people and say, hey, we've got a guy here anyway, you ready for us just to do it? And then, they'll bill you for this amount. Because once the tractor's gone, then their excuse is like, well, I can't get anybody to get out there.
that's not actually city limits property. The city has an ordinance about that.
But it's something that we could
Encourage.
encourage, even though it might be hard to go back and, do much, but still, people want their stuff looking nice, we just need to do that, so.
I'm open to any other suggestion, but I'd just like somebody to get a little bit of authorization for somebody to, even if it's just Ram individually or a second person, I don't care, anyone, just so we can move forward.
We need to move forward, and I agree. So I'll make a motion that we give the interim executive director and/or board president to choose a contractor for shredding and mowing.
Needs to be either both or one.
Yeah, you're gonna say just him or I or jointly,
Jointly.
okay?
Okay, so I'll amend my motion to state that authorize interim executive director and board president to approve a contractor upon receiving quotes.
Have a motion, do we have a second?
Well, I'll second.
We have a second, do we have comments?
Do we gonna have a certain amount of bids? I mean,
Well, we'd like to,
I'm gonna try to get at least 5 bids
okay.
for 5 different people.
but there's no promises that
Well,
they,
maybe 3 or why not?
And my thinking is that, the folks that I've talked to is that, if you can't really bid it by the acre, because you know what acreage you're doing, then figure out an hourly amount that you're gonna be able to do okay with, and that way, if you're out there for 4 hours, or if you're out there for 8, depending on the acreage size, you're still gonna be okay. Otherwise, it's just too hard sometimes to say, oh yeah, you're gonna have 50 acres, or you're gonna have 5. We need to at least.
And this is
keep
gonna
it
be
very simple.
the industrial park, the,
Properties that are owned
you know,
by,
what about, have we given that to the city already, the CAMA, what is that?
Cantarana? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
That's
they're
off,
right.
that's off our hands, okay.
Yeah,
But even the veterans park needs to be mowed, and
Yeah.
the property across from the old hospital, all that back in there needs to be
yeah.
cut down, because,
fortunately, it's getting hot enough and dry enough, the growth you're probably gonna,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what worries me a little bit is, you know, that the, especially at the industrial park, you know, the weeds are kind of high enough to where, and they're gonna get dry to where any spark,
Oh, yeah.
by the time you know it, that thing can spray it, and spray quick.
Well, it's
So we need to-
So, you know.
okay?
Just as a practical matter, I think you can do those as separate transactions. In other words, do the industrial park as one, the Veterans Park as another.
To bid them out.
Yeah, but I do want you to be conscious. I mean, you know the bid levels, and so just be conscious so that we don't, you know, we're not getting close to where we have to publish for bids.
Any other questions before we call for a bid,
Or vote.
for a vote? Not bid, excuse me. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, same sign. Well, that completes our agenda. So I would, it's 7:30. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned, 7:30. And next meeting, we will establish it probably the second, Monday of August.
Well, I'm